Princess Kael'thara of Aurelian moved through the marble halls of the imperial spire like a shadow, flawless and emotionless. As heir to the Varelian Empire, she was bred for diplomacy, not affection. Logic, not longing. Love? A word used only when analyzing primitive species. She had never questioned her role. Love was disorder. Emotion, weakness. Her every movement was measured, down to the blink. Then came the breach. An unauthorized shuttle crash-landed on the palace's lower tier. A security sweep uncovered the intruder in the diplomatic garden, humming to himself and trying to feed stale Terran bread to a glowing bird. He didn't resist arrest. He waved. Hey, I think I'm lost. Also, this bread's trash. Got anything with spice? The guards were baffled. They shackled him and summoned the princess for questioning. Kael'thara entered the holding chamber in full royal attire. The human sat cross-legged on the floor, wearing a torn jacket and a grin. Your Highness, he said with a slight bow. Nice cape. She narrowed her eyes. You have violated imperial airspace, infiltrated sovereign grounds, and approached the royal garden. State your intent. I was hungry, he replied, then paused. Also broke. Thought maybe aliens were hiring. She stared at him, stunned by his audacity. You risked death for employment. He tilted his head. No, I risked death because your planet's food delivery drones are impossible to hack, and I got tired of waiting for my universal job app to get approved. Kael'thara blinked. That is the most illogical thing you've ever heard. I know, that's kind of my thing. She stepped closer. What is your name? Dante. Dante Reyes. Unemployed philosopher. Part-time pastry thief. Full-time idiot, apparently. She stared at him for a long moment, unsure if he was dangerous or just broken. Then, inexplicably, she asked, Why aren't you afraid? He shrugged. You're not scary, just lonely. The words hit her like a pulse shot. No one spoke to her like that. Not without layers of fear or reverence. Yet here he was, unarmed, unfiltered, and utterly unbothered. For the first time in her life, Kael'thara didn't know what to say. So he filled the silence with a grin. Well, Princess, Dante said, leaning back casually. You look like someone in need of a malfunction. So, let's. She blinked. Let's what? He smiled. I dunno. Anything. Everything. Something real. And the princess, for once, didn't say no.